People think like just going hard every day, every session, doing 20k runs and all that, this is going to make you a better, it's not going to make you a better fighter. Obviously you need to do your base cardio and stuff, but it's just about, it's about the technical bits really, and then obviously the rounds.
When trying to become successful, listening to the guys who have done it, to the guys who are doing it, who are at the top level or the best to listen to. Today we speak with Lerone Murphy about his training, his fighting, all the things that helped made him successful, all the things in the journey and his experience with it. And these are the stories we need to listen to if we want to get into the same world, if we're trying to get into a similar world. Today's video was sponsored by Mulliganbrothers.com, the best motivational clothing brand in the world, where you can get the Rise and Grind t-shirts and the new hoodie vests, the hardest working room hoodie vests. But before that, here's training and fighting from UFC fighter Lerone Murphy. Let's jump into the video.
I used to play football, so I had the discipline in football, but I blew my knee out at 16, and that's when I stopped doing any sports for a few years, and then that's when things got worse, do you know what I mean? Because I had no discipline, I had nothing to, I had no goals to set, I had nothing to work towards, so I was just kind of gallivanting. I never thought I'd do any kind of sport again because my knee was weak for years, and then I started MMA and I was always worried about my knee, but I met my physio, Naz, and he ended up building up the strength in my legs and stuff again, so from then it was sweet, and then obviously I didn't think I'd get this far, I was just training for fun. My biggest influence was probably, not really in the younger years. In my older years I used to look up to my uncle Oliver Harrison and what he's done. He was a fighter, he's raised his son to be a fighter, he's had all these big professional fighters and stuff, and that's what I wanted to go on to do. Obviously when you start training and stuff, you're around people that train every day and stuff like that, they ain't got time to do other stuff, and obviously when you're younger, everyone's like on different type of stuff, so you have a different mindset. Even the day-to-day conversations are different, everything's different, the mindset's different, and when you're around people that are doing sports, it's better, there's less stress. I just started training at first. Obviously I didn't want to be a professional. I just started training because I enjoyed watching it. I've been watching it for years. I started training and then I started liking it. I ended up having my first amateur fight after about, I think it was like 6 months or something, maybe. About 6 months, I had my first amateur fight. I loved that. Ended up going to have another amateur fight. That was an even better fight, and then I just started thinking, this is what I want to do. So later on, I think I fought for an amateur title after that fight, and then I had one more and turned professional, and I went to America actually. That was like the biggest turning point for me. I went to America in 2015, and I stayed with Dominic Cruz, and obviously he's a world champion. And then from then it was just like, seeing his lifestyle, and then that's just what I wanted to be in it. I just seen how he was living. Obviously it looked to me as he was stress-free, and it's not, but obviously it's not that easy, but he had like a pool in his garden. It's just sick. It didn't seem surreal because he was just like super down to earth, do you know what I'm saying? And even like all the other fighters in the gym, Jeremy Stevens, a couple of other UFC fighters, and you're just around them and they're just normal, so it's just like, and then you're training with them as well, so it's like, you know it's doable. I was amateur then, and I'm doing rounds with Dominic Cruz. Even Ross Pearson was there. I'm doing sparring rounds with them, and just from then I knew it was doable. His work rate showed me like the work rate you need to be at the top, and I've took that away from that trip, and I've put the work in every day. I think I had my first professional fight after I come back from America. And I ended up breaking my hand in that. I was out for a few months after that, but I just knew where I needed to get to. He's probably one of the hardest workers in the world, so to match that, it's different. Like he's in camp all the time, but for me, it's just like, it's working hard in the areas you need to work at and working smart as well, training smart. Getting the right bodies in as well, it's all about the bodies as well. People think like just going hard every day, every session, doing 20k runs and all that, this is going to make you a better, it's not going to make you a better fighter. Obviously you need to do your base cardio and stuff, but it's just about, it's about the technical bits really, and then obviously the rounds. Working smart, it's all about knowing your body as well, so knowing when to take time off, knowing when to take an easy session, and obviously having the right coaching people around you that are going to find the holes in your game and work the right drills to perfect them. So yeah, obviously I won a few fights, and I was in Jamaica. With my family, all inclusive, eating heavy, come back massive. I think it must have been about 82 kg when I come back. And I think I trained for 2 days, and then I got a message off my coach on the Tuesday saying I've got a fight. No, it was like a message of Sean Shelby with a match. Can he? All it said was, can he fight on this date, which was 4 weeks from the time. And obviously I didn't think it was for me at the first, and then when they told it was for me, it was just like it was just like a big shock kind of thing. And I had no other option. Like, you just never know in this game. Like that, you might knock that opportunity back, and it might never come around. I've seen it happen before, so you have to just take them opportunities, both hands, really. I only need 4 weeks to get ready for a fight, really. Anyway, I didn't have no injuries at the time. I was just heavy. It was just water weight, really. I would have burnt it off. Obviously, talent comes into it, but at the same time, I've been putting in the shifts. Like, I've been training hard. Like from when I started, I've been training near enough every day, no time off. Even when I broke my hand, I was working around it. I just been putting in extra shifts. So a lot of them people that have been doing like 15 years, they're like half-hearted, like on and off. I've just been at it. I always knew I was going to get there at some point, from when I turned professional and stuff. But even when I've been sparring like UFC people, UFC fighters, I knew I had the ability to get there someday. I just needed, obviously, the right fights, the right path, the right journey. But at one point, I did have a few doubts because I couldn't get the right fights, and then I was going to sign to another promotion. And luckily I just waited it out a bit. My daily routine is like, out of camp I do 1 session a day, 6 days a week, maybe some more just light sessions of running in the evening and stuff, but like I definitely do 1 session a day. And then in camp we double them up, maybe pad work in the evening, conditioning, whatever else I need to be doing. But it's just even when I first started, then I was doing more 2 sessions a day, just standing. I was in the gym all day, every day, living and breathing it. I used to have my good mate Damo. He's not really training anymore now, but we used to just go in the gym, get the keys, go in the gym and just be in there all day, just sparring or whatever, wrestling or whatever. And that's where my level grew the most. I was literally living in the gym, just training all the time, picking up. And I used to watch a lot of tape as well. I used to watch a lot of fights and just learn from other fighters. I used to watch a lot of John Jones. I used to watch a lot of his techniques and just come in the gym and drill them myself. For me, you just got to have an end goal in sight at all times, an end goal. So you're going to have a lot of bad days in this sport. Bad fights are going to come, like, it's part of the sport. But as long as you keep that end goal in mind, you've always got something to aim for and a direction to go in. It's mad, like you go to bed thinking about techniques and drills and just stuff like that. It's definitely an obsession. It's definitely an obsession. Even when you're like, it's just out and about, you're just like thinking, oh, I should be training, or when you're doing something you shouldn't be doing, you're thinking about fights and stuff like that. It's mad. It's like, it is an obsession, definitely.
Thank you so much to Lerone. His stuff is linked down below. An absolutely incredible guy. Thank you for giving us all your time to be able to do this. For me, when I was a young kid, and I was inspired by stuff, it was listening to these athletes. It was listening to interviews with Michael Jordan. You know, like I'd listen to these old interviews and Mike Tyson interviews, and I used to be so inspired by them. And that's exactly what this is. This is the modern day version of that. It's, you know, you're gaining wisdom and knowledge from somebody else's story. And I think it's so important to listen to and find people who you can relate with and take those lessons. So thank you so much to Lerone. If you enjoyed the video, go follow me on Instagram at Mulliganbrothers and see what I get up to on a day-to-day basis.